okay. Unit standby for a tower 315 and 314 for a shooting at Century Theaters, 14300 East Alameda Avenue. They're saying somebody's shooting in the auditorium. Units responding to the shooting, switch to or remain on channel 2. Channels back to normal. 315 and 314, there is at least one person that's been shot, but they're saying there's hundreds of people just running around.
Lincoln 25, send me a whole bunch of available cars, all three districts.
Copy. All available units respond to the theater. 316, okay.
Cruiser 11, I'll be out.
Cruiser 11, copy, on scene.
2 and 3 en route.
Last unit on scene.
2 and 3 en route.
213, okay.
323 empty as well.
All units, we're going to patch the channel for the shooting. All officers respond to the shooting, 14300 East Alameda Avenue.
Cruiser 11, I'll be out on the east side.
Somebody is still shooting inside theater number 9 for an employee.
Lincoln 25, give me cops on the back side of it also. 514, I need the ambulance at Expo and Sable. I need the ambulance at Expo and Sable.
514, copy.
Cruiser 25, I'm going to be out on foot on the Sable side of the theaters.
Cruiser 25, okay. And last unit, reference to semi-automatic. Try it again. You didn't come across.
King 6, I'm out.
King 6, okay.
316, I got people saying Theater 9 still.
Yeah, all of our RPs are saying Theater 9 where Batman was playing.
I'm not sure if that's where Batman was playing.
That's where they're saying it happened. Theater 9 where Batman was playing, but another RP is saying they're still shooting.
216,
216?
453, I have a party shot here. I need rescue hot.
453, exactly where are you?
Front of theater.
In front of the theater.
16, give me some more cars inside of the theater in front of Theater 9.
Need more cars inside in front of Theater 9.
316, be advised. 6 somebody spraying some gas over here too.
316, I couldn't copy.
316, somebody's spraying gas in here too.
Copy, somebody's spraying gas.
316, I need a rescue in here hot too. I got a guy shot.
And inside of Theater 9?
Just outside of Theater 9.
Copy, just outside of Theater 9.
316, send me another available officer in here.
Need more officers inside Theater 9.
11, we've got the back covered and the south side covered.
King 6, we got another person outside shot in the leg, a female. I got people running out of the theater that are shot in room 9.
Copy, we'll let rescue know. They'll start more people.
318, we also have another victim on the north side of the theater in the parking lot.
Copy, north side in the parking lot.
Do we have gas masks available? Any gas masks in 9? I can't get in 9.
Any units that can bring gas masks to Theater 9. Again, we need gas masks.
Lincoln 25. I'm being told that he's in Theater 9. From what I'm smelling inside, it sounds like it's OC maybe too. Get us some damn gas masks for Theater 9. We can't get in it.
We're letting rescue know as well.
69 guys on the east side of block. East side. I need officers on the east side of block it. 302, I got another male shot. I need rescue right in front of the theaters by Dillard's, right off the main road.
Copy, in front of Dillard.
Cruiser 26, are we stationed rescue someplace so I can take some of these victims?
We'll find where they're going to be.
14, we have a party in the car shot. Plate 240, John Zebra, Ida. It's a Kia, white Kia.
Okay, copy. There's another victim in a white Kia. Where's that vehicle at?
Lincoln 25, I need rescue the stage in the west parking lot. I need at least 3 or 4 ambulances brought in here. Everybody can stage in the west parking lot by the 16 Adam. I need a marked car behind the theater, Sable side. Got a suspect in a gas mask.
209, okay, and we need cars south side. Suspect in a gas mask.
That they doing the white car you're by?
Cruiser 26, I'll have rescue on the north side of the...
453, I have 3 parties shot over here with me. Where's the rest going to be?
Just on the north side, I've got 2 victims up here with me right now.
The one that shot in the face. 11, hold the air 1 second. Cars with that white car in the rear of the lot. Is that a suspect? Yes, we've got rifles, gas masks. He's detained right now. I've got an open door going into the theater. Okay, hold that position. Hold your suspect. Yo. Okay, Cruiser 49, all cars coming in. Set up a perimeter around the entire mall. Set up a perimeter around the entire mall. All cars do not need to go into the movie theater.
Copy, units responding in. Just set up the perimeter around the entire mall.
And Cruiser 26, bring all the victims that have been shot to the north end of the theater.
Copy, all the victims need to be taken to the north end of the theater.
Cruiser 25, we need to break in. I've got 2 victims on the east side, north side of the theater. I need an ambulance here quick.
Okay, we'll let them know you're on the east, north side of the theater.
We need to start putting them in cars and shuttle them out to that west end. 210, I got 1 immobile on the east side. I can't get the rescue. Shot twice in the back.
Copy, we'll let them know west side.
East side.
East side, copy.
201 Adam, I need 1 ambulance, Sable and Center Point. I have a victim out here with the road crew.
Copy, we'll get you an ambulance there.
Hold the air, make an entry at 9. We need rescue inside the auditorium, multiple victims.
Copy.
321, I'm on the southeast corner on the exit. I need more cars on the east end with me, please. Lincoln 25, let me have the air here a little bit. Lincoln 25, I need rescue to stage in the Dillard's lot. I need as many ambulances as we can to the Dillard's lot.
Copy. We'll have them stage at the Dillard's lot and send as many ambulances as possible.
I want my fire trucks there also, and I'll start bringing them in to triage people and get them out. I just need them to get ready and get litters to the front of Century 16, and we'll start getting people out.
Lincoln 25, copy.
302, I'm taking one male to the hospital in my car.
302, Adam, okay?
16, I got 7 down in Theater 9. 7 down.
Copy. We'll notify fire. 7 down in Theater 9.
Get me some officers in 9 so we can get the movable victims out.
Need more units in Theater 9.
620, I'm with fire now. Let me know when you're ready for them to come in. Lincoln 25, start me Denver cars this way too. I need more help.
We'll start Denver cars.
321, one of the shooters might be wearing a white and blue plaid shirt.
Copy. Outstanding shooter, possibly wearing a white and blue plaid shirt.
I've got a child victim. I need rescue at the back door of Theater 9 now.
Back door of Theater 9, we'll start them.
Trying to get a sense of this person's background.
Copy. Need a unit to respond to stable as well.
Breakers run a correction. I need a
Thank
car.
you for that, Pierre. And what Pierre has focused on, and thank you, Pierre. Thank you, live in
Lincoln
Washington.
25, unpatch Channel 2 and Channel 3. Channel 2 will be inside, Channel 3 will be outside.
All units were unpatched in Channel 2 and Channel 3. Channel 3 will be for all outside units. Channel 2 is inside units.
Take off on Channel 3.
Lincoln 41, go ahead.
We don't do that on buses. We don't necessarily do that on trains. We are shopping malls, movie theaters, and you have to wonder now, once the dust settles, and that obviously is going to be some days here, and the first thought is with the victims of the deceased, the people who are in the hospital now fighting for their lives. But once we get past the initial shock of this, do we now begin talk about security? Let me bring you back in on that point, because so many of your reports have focused on how concerned our national security folks about just this kind of thing, and lone wolf suspects taking advantage of what is known as soft targets.
Cruiser 11.
Yes, this is
Cruiser 11, go ahead.
Inside of the theater is secure. We're bringing out bodies now. Get someone to the back as soon as you can. Rescue personnel. I got at least 3 to 7 hits.
Copy. We'll get them to the back of Theater 9 as soon as we can.
FBI trained for the Homeland Security Department is quite concerned about.
I've got one ambulance here. Where are my ambulances
at? You see what happened in Colorado. The FBI immediately got dozens and dozens of agents at the scene, not only to deal with victims, but also to begin to do a detailed background check on the individual. And the reason why they do that is they want to get a clear portrait and see if there's a nexus to terrorism, because one of the things you would be concerned about is, are there going to be more incidents? Are there going to be additional incidents in that area? Again, they've identified the suspect, 24-year-old male, born in December of 1987, and from that is the nexus of the investigation and the catalyst for everything.
Copy. Copy. You're evacuating out of Theater 9.
Give me some ambulances to the back of the theater or the Sports Authority, Old Sports Authority lot.
Old Sports Authority parking lot. Copy. I'll let them know.
You can imagine several hundred people in that theater. Many had to be parents and young kids who were going just for one of the movies, and it turned into this. So confirmation already that one of the victims here was just 6 years old.
6 years old, and witnesses within the theater say this gunman was just random, and it just seemed like he was just randomly picking his
sitting ducks they were. And Pierre, let me bring you back in just for a second. Talk a little bit more about the soft targets here, because do you think...
Metro 10, Lincoln 25, do I have permission to start taking some of these victims via car? I got a whole bunch of people shot out here, no rescue. Yes, load them up, get them in cars, get them out of here. We have one, we cannot move in Theater 9. Get an ambulance crew in here as soon as they're available.
Do you need
a notified rescue? Just let me know what hospitals you're taking them to so we can give them a heads up.
Lincoln 25, just notify all the hospitals. We got people coming in.
Copy.
Start at the perimeter to the south location, which will be Abilene and Exhibition Table in Exhibition. Then I'm going to need a car from that point to take a location to the north at Abilene.
Give us your perspective on...
Alameda. Okay, post on the hallways. I don't want anybody coming out we might have missed. Repeat, if they are mobile, get them outside. We have a few that are not mobile. We need a rescue crew in here right away.
Copy. I'll tell them again.
Metro 11 en route, one patient south.
Metro 11, copy, one patient south.
Join officers at the exit from the theater to be assistance of the car so we can check people leaving, check people inter-party, check people parties that might be on. I'd like to have 2 cars at every point at those locations.
Cruiser
25, the next ambulances come in. I'm going to direct them down to the east side of the theater. We
appear to be a nexus to international terrorism or domestic terrorism. Again, that's how they're able to make those early.
Rifle. Going to be 5.56 caliber. Sorry.
Officer, do you need rescue as well?
No.
Stable. Sometimes they have motivations. But often, as we saw in the Tucson shooting, it's a deranged individual with no real, clear, sane reason for the activity.
Pierre, I want to ask you real quick about the gun laws in Colorado. Is it true that in Colorado gun laws, they don't require the registration of any particular type of firearm? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but do you know anything of...
They're working on it now.
So we have bodies upstairs, or we're planning on doing that?
We're clearing it now.
Okay.
Stay here with ABC for the very latest on this unfolding story, including Good Morning America coming up in many markets in just a few minutes. And we send our thoughts and prayers to everyone in Aurora. Thank you for watching ABC News.
So you need to check behind those screens also.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is Barry and Eric again from Moss Pawn and Gun. And today we got a real serious gun gripe to talk about today, and that was the theater shootings in Colorado that occurred last night. I know this is still very hot in the media right now, and there's still a lot of conflicting information that's being kind of brought down the pipeline at this point, but we do want to discuss some of our feelings about it overall, and you know, we're not going to give a ton of information because we don't know a whole lot right now. We do know it was a very horrible tragedy that should not have occurred, of course, and very horrible thing. There was around 12 people killed so far that we can tell, and then from reports we have here, they're showing 59 injured, but of course that number has a tendency, it probably will change over the next week or so. I know there's still a lot of people in critical condition. And look, if any of you guys are YouTube subscribers and you're watching and this directly affected you, if you had anybody that was killed or wounded, or you have friends or family that know anybody, we just want to let you guys know for sure that we're sorry that it happened, and definitely keep you in our prayers as to, hopefully anybody that was wounded would, have a speedy recovery. Okay? So first and foremost, that's definitely what we want to get out there.
That's correct. They're saying here that as of right now, there were 71 victims. That's not deaths, that's victims, casualties. That they say that's the largest mass shooting in the United States. You will well know the Luby's cafeteria incident we had many years ago. That was the highest at that point. But this gentleman was wearing full body armor, body-armored leggings, and all kind of armor from head to foot, according to this paper here. So, but what we're trying to say, it's a tragedy with a gun, but like at Luby's cafeteria, somebody in the theater with a gun may have been able to stop this carnage before it got to this point. Of course, when something like that happens, the guy threw a smoke bomb, and he panicked the crowd. It's a wonder hundreds of people weren't trampled to death in the panic. I don't know how long he was in. Like Eric said, they don't have any details. A while ago, they said there was 71 injured and 15 killed, and the number keeps changing back and forth. The media doesn't even know yet what happened. So until they talk to a lot of witnesses or whatever, and then even then, eyewitness accounts are often inaccurate in themselves.
That's right. So, oftentimes someone is so upset and so distraught from what's going on, sometimes the facts can change from day to day just on what you ask them to recall.
But unlike a lot of mass shootings, this fellow was captured alive. So this guy's going to go to jail. He's going to go to trial. It's not like these killings where they kill a bunch of people and they shoot themselves. This guy has been captured, and he's probably going to give us more details than anybody possibly could. His apartment was booby-trapped with explosives to blow the police up when they went over there. Of course, there's a lot of details on that. There haven't been any injuries, but they showed the police a while ago crashing his front door. So they're trying to get in there as careful as they can and examine things. They probably had explosives, sniffing dogs, and all kind of stuff. But it's a massive thing going on out there right now, and it's a tragedy.
Well, of course, we do hear that there was explosives in the apartment and everything, but we can't be for sure. I mean, they can say that, but until it's actually, come to pass, we really can't speculate. I mean, other than what the media says. You know how the media is. They're going to take it any way they want. Now, not literally this morning, I posted part 1 of a concealed carry video series that me and Chad started there. And sure enough, in the concealed carry video, we talked about places you can and can't carry, what's considered a public place. And lo and behold, in the video, we mentioned already that a movie theater is considered a public gathering and that no concealed carry is allowed. And I'll say it once, I'll say it again, and look, if anybody got hurt or you know anybody that got hurt, I'm sorry, but I have to say that if law-abiding citizens were allowed to legally carry their firearms in that theater, this tragedy could have been either averted or at least stopped in its tracks a little sooner. So, you know, you can always speculate as what, you know, could have, would have, should have happened, but in the big scheme of things, you know, there should have been armed citizenry exercising their right to carry their firearm in that theater. That's the bottom line. Those people were disarmed by the system, and unfortunately people, you know, suffered because of it. And
well, you have to take into consideration where this is located too. The demographics may be totally different than where we live or you live or whatever. People may have felt totally safe in that town. And this boy was a PhD, working on his PhD. As of this point, nobody knows why he went off the deep end. Nobody knows.
He wasn't no idiot, that's for sure. He wasn't a loony bin. He was a brilliant guy from everything that I could gather, and I don't mean that in a good way, but he definitely wasn't disturbed. Other than, you know, of course he did commit the act, and that's you know, that's pretty.
But nobody knows why. Only he does.
Nobody knows why he did it, and I know from everything I've been able to read, his mother, his wife, his father's of Turkish descent, which to me that doesn't really bear any large consequence. I mean, you can't call it that just because of his father, but people are starting to, you know, wonder if it was related to religion or religious extremism type stuff.
Right.
Can't speculate though.
You can't speculate.
But like Barry said, that, you know, they captured the guy alive. I mean, there's a fairly strong possibility he'll spill the beans, or he could just, you know, there's no telling what'll happen to him.
Right.
I think one of the things that kind of sickens me about this whole thing is the Obama administration's rapid response to this whole thing, and how they basically just made it out to be this giant push for stronger gun control. And I think that's the last thing that should be on their minds right now. And of course, Michael Bloomberg was one of the first people to just publicly announce, hey, we want Obama's public opinion on this, and it always has to be gun related with Michael Bloomberg. You know, this administration will never let a disaster go to waste. If they've got an opportunity to push for stricter gun regulations, they're going to do it, even if it costs Americans their lives. And really, I just think that their thinking is put in the wrong place. Wow. I think the American people realize that, you know, these people's, you know, thought processes are really in the wrong place. Their hearts
I'm a lot older than Eric, and I've watched this over the years. There's always, it seems like these shootings happen right before a big election. Now, whether politics has anything to do with it or not, I don't know. Maybe it's a coincidence. But these shootings are going to be more and more prevalent, probably until after the election. I'm not trying to make anybody go out and copycat, but it always seems to me there's a pattern to this right before a big election. And the media pounces on this thing, and the liberals pounce on this thing, and they try to use it as gun control.
That's right.
But this boy troubles me, the fact that this boy probably gave no warning. The Columbine boys, they were loners. People knew that they were crazy. There's a lot of other shooters that are loners and people like that you can kind of see it coming. From what we've got from the news media, nobody saw this coming at all.
Completely random.
It was just bam. It just happened.
Now, I think most importantly, and we'll end on this note, that I think that what this should show is that you need less gun control, not more gun control. If there would have been more armed people in the theater, more armed people in public places is what we need. Good, responsible citizenry, concealed carry permit holders, what have you. If that theater would have been half full of gun-toting red-blooded Americans, then it might have turned out a little different.
Right. And I don't know about your area, but in Clayton County here and around Georgia, police officers encourage citizens to get weapons. They encourage you to buy a gun. They encourage you to get a carry permit because they know every armed citizen out there is actually another police officer.
That's right.
And we're not on the payroll either. The taxpayers aren't paying us. But we keep our eyes open, and if we report anything we see going on, and we're carry, and we know how to use our guns, and we're not going to use them unnecessarily, and we're not going to use them in the wrong way.
That's right, and I think traditionally we are a class and citizenry of people that police our own. Traditionally, I think we police our own, and that's what sets us apart. I mean, and that's a mentality we need to have. We need to police our own and watch out for each other. because, you know, whenever you need the police to be seconds away, they're going to be hours away. And they're never going to be there when you need them. They're going to report what happened, but they're never going to be there to retroactively stop a problem when it occurs. It's your responsibility to stop the problem when it occurs.
Well, let's hope that the authorities get to the bottom of this tragedy, and we hope that it doesn't happen again. But we're going to have to be more vigilant, and everybody's going to have to start looking after each other a little bit better.
Absolutely, and we will continue the concealed carry series. I've got 2 more videos coming up where we talk about guns and gear, tactics, all that kind of stuff that'll be coming up soon. And we hope you guys will watch that. And the concealed carry video couldn't have come at a better time because it's more important than ever to arm yourself on a daily basis.
That's correct. So we're signing it off.
Iconic American hip-hop artist Ice-T was here in the studio. The self-styled godfather of gangster rap had come to talk about a new documentary he's made about the art of rapping, which will be running on tomorrow night's programme. But while he was here and news about the Denver shooting was coming in, I briefly took the opportunity to ask him about his own attitude towards guns. And I asked him why he's such a defender of the right to bear arms.
Well, I give up my gun when everybody else does.
And is that
Doesn't that make sense?
Well,
doesn't that make sense? I mean, if you were to, if there were guns here, would you want to be the only person without one?
So do you carry guns routinely at home? I mean, you have a gun at home?
Yeah, it's legal in the United States. It's part of our Constitution. You know, the right to bear arms is because that's the last form of defense against tyranny. Not to hunt. It's to protect yourself from the police.
And do you see any link between that and these sorts of incidents?
No. Nah, not really. You know what I'm saying? If somebody wants to kill people, you know, they don't need a gun to do it.
Makes it easier, though, doesn't it?
Not really. You can use you can strap explosives on your body. They do that all the time.
So when there's the inevitable backlash of the anti-gun lobby as a result of this incident, as there always is.
Well, that's not going to change anything in the United States.
No.
The United States is based on guns. You know, like KRS says, you'll never have justice on stolen land. So it's not going to change.
Guns, murder, and the USA, that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. Predictably, far-left ideologues are demagoguing the mass murder in Colorado. They want gun control imposed on the country. Uber-liberal Bill Moyers is the poster boy for that.
The killer in Colorado waited only for an opportunity. And there you have it. The arsenal of democracy transformed into the arsenal of death. And the NRA is the enabler of death. Paranoid, delusional, and as venomous as a scorpion.
Moyers has no clue at all. He apparently believes that federal and state governments can actually control gun crimes. That's so dumb it hurts. Chicago has banned handguns in public. How's that working out, Bill? So far this year, 1,136 shootings. How about your state, Bill, New York? Well, it has the 4th toughest gun law in the country. Sounds good, doesn't it? Ready? 2011, nearly 4,000 guns were confiscated by New York City cops. Just in the city, 4,000 guns. Yeah, those tough gun laws, they're working great, aren't they? The reason for all that, the perps usually walk because the justice system is so chaotic and the jails are overcrowded. And you know what Bill Moyers' solution to that is? Let nonviolent criminals out, like heroin dealers. Yeah, that's nonviolent. You're a genius, Bill. PBS very lucky to have you. All right, here's the deal. Anyone who sells a heavy weapon or ammo should be compelled to report the sale to the FBI. It's a felony if you don't. That's what we should have in the USA. And it just makes sense in this age of terrorism. Right now, some gun dealers do background checks, but nobody reports the sale of heavy weapons like AK-47s to the feds. That's insane. Terrorists could just move in here, buy bazookas, and the FBI doesn't know about it. Here's how crazy this is. If you take a flight lesson, the feds get a heads up. But you can buy a machine gun, and they don't know. So Congress should pass 2 laws. First, the heavy weapon reporting. And second, if you commit a crime with a gun, like a robbery or anything else, it becomes a federal offense with a mandatory 10-year prison sentence upon conviction. That would dent the problem. But the truth is criminals will always get guns, always. So why do the far-left loons want to take guns away from law-abiding citizens who want protection? The authorities can't protect us. They react after we're shot. The Second Amendment is there for a reason. The Founding Fathers firmly believed that Americans should have the right to protect themselves. Finally, most Americans don't want more gun laws. According to a Pew poll taken in April, 49% do not want the federal government intruding on gun ownership. 45% do. The folks know the government can't protect us from monsters like James Holmes in Colorado. And by the way, another memo to Bill Moyers. This week marks the one-year anniversary that some nut shot and killed 77 human beings in Norway. Norway. That's not what I said, and you know it. I said heavy weapons, all right? Mortars, howitzers, machine guns. In this age of terrorism, if you do a flight school, the FBI is alerted. But you can buy a machine gun, and the FBI doesn't know. And you think that's responsible?
Well, first of all, I don't think that's absolutely not true. If you buy a fully automatic weapon, you have to go get a tax certificate from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms in order to do that. You have to pass a fingerprint background check. You can't just absolutely
to a gun show, Congressman? You ever been to a gun show?
Yes, I have.
You can buy any weapon you want there, and there's no reporting anywhere. You can walk right out.
No, you don't have to. You can't go out and just go and buy a bazooka, as you suggest, or a fully automatic machine gun. There are laws on the books.
You can buy an AK-47 in this country, and no federal agency will know you buy it. And as the guy in Colorado proved, you can buy a mass amount of ammunition on the net, okay, and nobody's reporting. Look, here's my deal, and you tell me where I'm wrong. If you sell heavy weaponry, all right, semi-automatics, automatics, ammunition, all you do is you file with the FBI, and that way the FBI can cross-reference, all right? Say the FBI has you on a terror watch list, and then it comes in that you're buying an AK. Well, the FBI is going to put you under surveillance. Say this guy was bought 60,000 rounds in Colorado, which he did, and the FBI in Denver got wind of that. They would have been watching him. All right, this just makes common sense. It's not an intrusion on gun rights.
You're not going to assign an FBI agent to follow each and every law-abiding citizen.
If you get 60,000 rounds, he certainly will.
No, you cannot. You cannot say that the laws on the books are not tough and stringent on semi-automatic and automatic weapons.
60,000 rounds and no federal agency knew about it.
You are not going to have an FBI agent who's suddenly trailing everybody in this country who buys whatever your definition is, a large number of pieces of ammunition.
Let me break this to you. If the FBI is alerted that somebody's buying 60,000 heavy-duty rounds, they're going to check it out because that's what anti-terrorism is.
Bill,
that's what they do.
Bill, that's why we have the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. We have a specially designated law enforcement officers that are
That kid's purchase on the Internet wasn't reported to any federal agency. That's why he was able to assemble that armor that he had. And you're telling me you object to this? This doesn't intrude on any hunter, anybody with a handgun to protect himself, anybody with a rifle. This is an AK. Come on.
This is the Second Amendment. You have a lawful and reasonable right to be able to go out and purchase weapons and ammunition.
I'm not saying you can't purchase. Report the purchase in case it's a terrorist.
But Bill, you're ignoring the current law on the books. You're coming up with this wild definition of what is so-called heavy armament.
Wild definition? An AK-47?
Yes, you are.
That's not heavy armor? An AK?
There are rules, but there are laws on the books. You act as if you can...
There aren't any federal laws on the books to report that.
There are laws on the books.
No,
you are misinformed.
There are 7 states that require... No, you're wrong.
Yes,
there are 7 states that require, if you buy an AK, and 43 that don't. Come on.
No, Bill, you're totally misinformed. If you go to an FFL, if you go to a federally firearms licensee, and you want to purchase, you have to go through a background check. If you want to purchase fully automatic, you've got to go get an ATF.
There are more loopholes in the gun purchasing laws in this country. All you have to do, and you define it, not me, you define it. You're an honest man.
It does define
you define
it.
No, it
doesn't.
Defines.
Yes,
this guy in Colorado got all this stuff, and nobody knew about it. Come on.
Everybody wishes that we could wave our magic wand and this never ever happened. I remember when Gabby Giffords happened. I wish that had never ever happened. But the point was made by this guy's brother and others. We're not trying to politicize it. The laws are in the book. President Obama's taking that position.
I believe in the Second Amendment.
I've taken that position.
I wouldn't even ban AKs. I wouldn't even go back to the Brady law that they had. But I would report. And there's nothing wrong with that.
In the rewrite tonight, another huge win for the Grover Norquist of gun control, Wayne LaPierre. Wayne is the blood-drenched lobbyist who makes sure anyone in America, anyone, can get 6,000 bullets. Even people who want to use those bullets to shoot babies in movie theaters. Wayne LaPierre is not a credit hog like Grover Norquist. Grover loves flexing his anti-tax lobbying muscles publicly. He loves calling senators idiots. He loves taking credit for preventing any consideration of sensible tax policy in this country. Wayne is old school. Wayne LaPierre follows the old lobbyist playbook of never publicly taking credit for anything. Every time an American mass murderer uses the right that Wayne has preserved for anyone in this country, including Al-Qaeda and homicidal maniacs, to buy insane amounts of ammunition, and then that mass murderer gets huge headlines, wall-to-wall cable news coverage, and comments from the president, Wayne LaPierre never takes credit for any of that. Never. Wayne always does a kind of aw shucks modesty thing and says, if I hadn't made sure that that mass murderer could get thousands of bullets, he would have used something else to kill all those people. Talk about modesty, huh? Maybe some of our mass murderers would have found another way to kill a lot of people, but we'll never know, will we? Because Wayne has just made it so easy, so very easy to kill babies with bullets, to kill fathers and mothers with bullets, to kill sons and daughters with bullets, to kill sisters and brothers with bullets. Bullets are the American mass murderer's first choice. And what we'll never know is how many of them would be successful mass murderers today if Wayne LaPierre didn't make sure they could easily get bullets, unlimited supplies of bullets. How many of our mass murderers would switch to making bombs if they couldn't get bullets? And how many of them would blow themselves up by mistake while making bombs and never hurt anyone else? Surely a few of them. Just how determined are American mass murderers? We'll never know, because Wayne LaPierre makes it so easy for mass murderers. Wayne has not said a word about our most recent mass murder. On Friday, he had his press secretary put out this statement. Our thoughts and prayers are with the victims, their families, and the community. NRA will not have any further comment until all the facts are known. See how modest Wayne is? He's the head of the National Rifle Association, and he wouldn't even put his name on yet another high-profile NRA press release about a mass murder. Wayne presumably spent the weekend enjoying the summer with his family and friends, none of whom were shot by a mass murderer this weekend. Wayne's unlimited ammo for all policy has never negatively affected Wayne's life in any way. I invited Wayne to come on this program tonight, but you know Wayne, even when he deserves 24-hour media attention, Wayne LaPierre is the perfect picture of modesty. Blood-drenched modesty.
Welcome back to The Ed Show. The Aurora shooting will not bring about any new discussion from President Obama about gun control. Of course, the president did the right thing by going to Aurora yesterday and meeting with families of the lost and survivors. But his press secretary said there would be no new push on gun control. Quote, the president believes we need to take steps that protect Second Amendment rights of the American people, but that ensure that we are not allowing weapons into the hands of individuals who should not, by existing law, obtain those weapons. The president's view is that we can take steps to keep guns out of the hands of people who should not have them under existing law, and that's his focus right now. When asked about an assault weapons ban, Carney said, as you know, there has been opposition to that since it expired within Congress. So the president is focused on doing the things that we can do that protect Second Amendment rights, which he thinks is important, but also to make it harder for individuals who should not, under existing law, have weapons to obtain them. And just a little FYI, the Aurora mass shooting is not an anomaly in America. Here's a map showing 36 mass murders across America in the past 30 years, compiled by Mother Jones. In each case, the shootings happened during a single incident in a public place, and the shooter took the lives of at least 4 people. Let's bring in Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky of Illinois. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Professor.
Congresswoman, are you disappointed that President Obama won't get behind some form of gun control?
Well, I think that the president is correct in thinking that it's unlikely, impossible, I would say right now, for any kind of substantial legislation to pass the House of Representatives and probably the Senate as well. But I think it is time to have that conversation. Look, the National Rifle Association and others say, well, it's not time to be political. But it's they, the National Rifle Association and their kin, that are making a public safety issue a political issue. They don't want to see any kind of legislation that would not only keep guns out of the hands of crazy individuals, but why does any individual need a automatic weapon? Why do they need to buy 6,000 bullets? Why do they need to have a high-capacity magazine, the ability to shoot off 100 bullets in just a few seconds and kill so many people? I think that most Americans, even those I imagine that are part of the National Rifle Association, think that there are some limits that are reasonable and still protect Second Amendment rights.
Sure. You know, what strikes me here, of course, is that when you hear the epithets being hurled on either side about politicization of this issue, we know at the end of the day that if that kind of amassing and stockpiling of that kind of potential to hurt people through that, through those bullets and those guns and the gases and the bombs and the like, if this had been stockpiled by a person who was more likely to look reasonably offensive, a Muslim, another minority, do you think that the red flag would have gone up sooner than with this seemingly innocent young white man who, under cover and protection of appearing normal, was out to do some heinous deeds?
Maybe, although given the lack of regulation of purchasing ammunition on the internet, given the lax gun laws in so many places, I'm not so sure that we could have stopped anybody, particularly one with this kind of intention.
But do you think the FedEx man would have noticed, like if he's taking something to an address constantly and the FedEx person, the woman, is seeing this, maybe a pattern is being established? I mean, no red flag at all there?
Well, it could be, and one of those gun ranges actually turned him down because there was this odd message that was on his machine. There may be signals, and you're right, it may be if he had a different profile or looked different, that he might have been discovered. But the point I think for the country is, how many incidents like this is it going to take before we say enough is enough? One of my colleagues nearly dying, but several people dying in the meantime near her, including a 9-year-old child, a 6-year-old on Friday. At what point are we going to say, let's take a look at the proliferation of guns? Do we really want to be afraid to go to the movies? In Chicago, people are afraid to walk certain streets. It is time for us to look carefully and have a rational conversation. But the NRA won't tolerate such a conversation.
But why is it that even in your own party, however, your pleas for some kind of rational process here falls on deaf ears, even in those in your own party?
Well, it's very clear that the National Rifle Association is a very powerful political force. And when they say that they're going to score a member of Congress, that is, rate him according to his votes, the most ridiculous pieces of legislation pass automatically. There was an amendment passed in the House with over 300 votes that said, in the case of bankruptcy, individuals may keep $3,000 worth of guns protected from any creditor. I mean, really, guns become the priority of the National Rifle Association, and they scare the bejesus out of members of Congress and threaten them with primary elections and with defeating them with ads. They've spent over $7 million on elections in the last cycle, and they're prepared to do it again. I think most Americans, if you ask the question, aren't there some reasonable gun safety legislation that you would support? I think they would say yes.
Right. Well, the accuracy of your account there is more chilling than most horror movies. Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Up next, the secret support for gun control. Find out what the vast majority of Americans really think and why the NRA is not...
316, okay. Unit sent by for tower 315 and 314 for a shooting at Century Theaters, 14300 East Alameda Avenue. They're saying somebody's shooting in the auditorium. Units responding to the shooting, switch to or remain on channel 2. Channels back to normal. 315 and 314, there is at least one person that's been shot, but they're saying there's hundreds of people just running around.